Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Alright, for this video what I wanted to show was an easy way to make a few bucks and some XP to level up, unlock a few more things, and of course we all need more credits so that we can actually buy more trucks and so forth. And I have a few. But we're going to be using the Ankh, and I'll show in another video later where to get it if you don't already have it. And what we're actually going to be running is the container delivery mission. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to come right out of your garage, loop back around, accept the mission. You pick up from right here. So you pick up the short container, and just go ahead and throw a waypoint here, and then come out through this gate and travel over here. You're going to come up through this way, and I'm going to plot out the course that I take, which seems to be the fastest overall. You would think that traveling this road would be a much more direct route, because we're just going to go right here to the sawmill and deliver, and it's mission over, and you can repeat this mission over and over and over. There's no limit on how many times you can run it, even though it doesn't show up if you click on the tab up here. But right in this direction, no bueno. Well, it looks like a straighter route. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of off camber, and if you use a truck that's a little bit on the tippy side, you are going to roll over, and it's mission over. So when you get up to this part right here, just stay on the road until you get to about here, and I will run the actual course slow so you can actually see where I'm going to go. But I'm going to end up going through the ditch here. This bridge is not usable. You can use it, but it wastes way too much time. So we're going to go through the ditch here. I'll go ahead and put a waypoint here, and then we're going to come through here, cutting across here to come to this point here. That shortcut's going to save you a little bit of time, and then for the most part we're going to stay on the road the rest of the way. When you come through this area here, and I'll point it out as we go, stay to this side of the road, and I'll show you some trouble spots as we go. This is a slow down area, so again, I'll show the areas in which you need to aim for as you're going through. We'll just come right along in here, and then we get to this corner, come over here, and we're going to end up cutting through these trees here and go right here to the sawmill, and that's it. So again, I'm going to use this. It's fully upgraded and has its strong points and weak points being fully upgraded with the lift and bigger tires. But you'll see. And we want to make sure that it's daytime. I may do the mod to remove the fog. It's because the fog just looks way too grainy anyway. And to me it takes away from the looks of the game. The game looks pretty good, having that grainy fog. So, I mean, just as soon as you come out, turn right around and go through here. Now, this truck can be a little tippy, but, you know, it's one of my favorites for running this to get the XP and money. I mean, even on the worst stuff, it just trudges right through. But it is a little top heavy, so you are going to have to take a little caution as you're going through. So as soon as you come into the gate, you can see you got the checkpoint there, or the starting point. What it's just is coming in and then backing up into it. Now, the more you run this, you're trying to get faster and faster times, just to try to beat your personal best. As long as you're right around the 6-minute mark or faster, which getting less than 6 minutes on this run is really easy to do. If you're struggling, think about your line, and so we'll talk about that along the way. So you hit C, I'm on PC, and then enter, and off we go. Now you can actually start moving your truck a little bit. Hit C and enter. As you're coming through this point right here, another thing, hit C, hit E, hit F, hit escape, and that's going to get you what you need to get going. For this first part, I like to go into first person mode. Swing a little bit wide so you're not bashing off of the exit there. I find that the camera views are a little bit wonky and it's kind of hard to see where you're going, as if I'm doing great to begin with. But to be able to get set up on this road and get across the bridge, it's not really a bridge, it's the concrete going across the mud here. And going fast, I mean, you don't have to be in a hurry to complete this. So I'm easing off on the throttle as I'm approaching this, and easy on the steering so that I can get across it. And once I'm fully across, I'm going to go ahead and ride the left side of this road, because it's a little bit harder. If you go too far to the right there, you get into the mud. You're going to slow down anyway. Yeah, you could probably run high gear through some of this, but you're going to end up stalling the engine in some places. So look for the solid patches, and you see it's tippy with the lifted suspension. I almost want to go back to the original suspension and a little bit smaller tire, just because how tippy it actually is. So after you make that right fork there, you come up to here. Coming up on the first corner to cut, and as you're approaching this, there's that little tree right here. So you want to drive over that tree, go between these two, aiming for this tree, and then cut right into the ditch. You want to avoid those rocks. Now with the truck that's not as tippy like the Tega, you can actually take that a little bit faster. And we're going to go straight up right here. You want definitely a truck with very little overhang. Go between these two little trees and line up for right between here. As you can see, following the blue dots makes it easier. But once you learn the layout, you don't need them. I don't even use them anymore. Just I did it for the purposes of the video. So always be looking at the terrain. So if you've got a truck that's tippy, know where the bumps are, where it would actually, like right in there, there's a couple bumps, and since you're off camber, it will cause you to roll over and lose your cargo, which is frustrating, because you're going to have to recover that cargo and then remove it. When you get to this point, definitely stay to the left here, because you dipped off to the right and you're going to get off camber and hit a bump and you will roll over. I've lost cargo a couple times in that one spot. And don't worry about going slow where you need to, or we're just going for sub 6 minute time. I've had several sub 5 minute times with different trucks, but with this truck, and you can go right across here. There's a little dead tree and right here that I've already run over. Go through that. There's a bump here, and then there's the road sign. See, I've already run it over, and just the arrows left pointing. And then go directly across the road and go off to the side of the road like this. A little bit smoother and less mud. You're going to slow down a little bit, but not as much. Just be wary of the bumps so you don't roll over. Don't be afraid to actually, I know this is a timed event, you're trying to get there as quick as you can, but it's not a, you're going to run out of time kind of deal. Because if you do go faster than or slower than 6 minutes, or your time is less than optimal, you're still going to get something no matter what. And by doing this, now I would optimally like to have gone to the left of this tree. Because as you can see, the farther you get into the actual roadway here, you're going to get that to happen. You take the chance of the mud just having the wrong spot at the wrong time. And if I didn't have that tree there and could do the Batman turn, I would have rolled over. We're still at the 5-minute mark, so we're good on time, and that's my destination right ahead. So it's better to actually take your time and not roll over instead of trying to rush it all the time. But you can hug close to this sign right here. There is a bump right here in front of me that if you don't pay attention, you will hit too hard and roll over. Just go right between these trees. The more you practice it, the faster you can get through there. And either stay to the left or to the right, and you'll get out of the main mud. As you can see, you're right here, and you just want to get into that little thing, and the mud is slowing you down. So you just got to brake the plane, hit C, and enter. And that was 5,600 and 540 in less than 6 minutes time. And I took my time. I almost rolled over. It wasn't a great run. So then you can just recover. You don't have to worry about fuel economy or anything else. You can just keep running it over and over and over as many times as you want. Now, just showed you with the Ankh. I've tried it with this. Not bad, a little slow, has some trouble because of the front overhang. Going through the ditch and that area there. Much as I love the Step 310, it's been one of my primaries for just a reliable truck. It does have a few problem areas here and there, and it's a little bit slower in the mud. Kodiak C70. Yeah, it has trouble with the ditch and that area. Cat 745C. Well, this is like greatest truck. No, it's not. This truck has, or this tractor, or whatever you want to call it, with the container add-on, has some difficulty with the ditch because of the massive overhang. It gets hung up going through the ditch, and one particular run with it, it actually slid over, bounced over on a rock, and wedged itself against the bridge. That's the little half-ass bridge, which caused me to have to recover the truck and lose out on the mission. So it was a complete fail. Just no. I love the truck. It's just got so much personality, but for this run, no. This Azov, the 64-131, not bad. It gets the job done. Has some trouble with the ditch in that zone area. Tega 636 with these tires, probably the best overall for it. Because these super wide tires, they handle the mud well. It's not very tippy, and it just works. And I'll come back to this truck here in just a minute. This guy, well, you can't pull a trailer with it, and dragging it with the winch don't count. No comment. The Don 71 is just a cool little ride, but it's just okay. It's not suitable for this whatsoever. Not enough overall power. The BM17s, again, not bad on this, but the front overhang, and it just, I'll do some more runs with it later on just to see if I can improve times with it, because I've got a couple of them. I like them and use them as utility vehicles. You can see I've got the service cab or bed and the crane for it. The Pacific P12, this overhang kind of prevents it from being great for that run. I don't remember if this even has the ability to. No, you can't even use the thing. So unless you want to pull a trailer with it, it's just not usable. You can do this with a trailer. It is not a problem. But I'd rather not. I'd rather have a truck with space on the back. Let's see what else we got here. Scouts. Running a scout vehicle for this mission, it takes a lot longer to do, and yet it's still doable because you have to pull a trailer and you can use a winch to help pull you through the trouble areas. The ditch is a problem for most scouts, though, just because the angles and so forth. Again, lots of personality, but no all-wheel drive. It makes it to where it's not really viable for this mission when you're going for time. Lodestar has trouble with the ditch. This Dairy Longhorn, it's okay. Again, not the greatest for this mission. It has a bit of an overhang here. I will try some more missions with it, but again, when you look at it, the frame add-ons, it doesn't have any, so you're having to pull a trailer. So to me, not being able to carry it on the back of the truck is actually a downfall for running this mission. More scouts. The YAR-87, if you're going to pull a trailer and use a scout, this is a good one to run because it can pull a trailer and it's pretty mobile. The Hummer H2, I don't know why I have two. I kept this one because I wanted one that was mostly stock. Don't ask me why. My other cat, Loaf. It's not as bad as you would seem. It just lacks the power. Twin Steer. Well, I imagine you could probably do it with this. It'll take some doing. The front overhang, you're going to have some problems getting in the ditch. It is not all-wheel drive, so that kind of slows it down a little bit. The Colo, definitely a no. Way too much overhang and has a trouble negotiating the ditch area. The White Western Star, not bad overall. I don't remember if this even has the capability of doing. Yeah, it does. And when selecting the what to use, you can use a flatbed and it works just fine. For the most part, I've only ever had cargo come loose while traveling. And because I had the sideboard bed, what happened was I was bouncing around trying to go too fast, and the cargo did come loose. But because I had a sideboard bed, it slid up against the walls of the bed and kept it from falling out completely. So all I had to do was hit the V key and then select retain cargo or whatever, and it locked it back down again, and boom, off I went. So if you just have a flatbed and that's what you want to run, go for it. You don't need the loading crane, but the sideboard bed is my personal favorite for this. It just works great. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.